cross-extension reflex causes contractions of muscles that extend joints in the limb opposite of a painful stimulus. On the left of this diagram is the withdrawal reflex. It is ipsilateral, meaning that it affects both receptors and effectors on the same side of the body. Cross-extension reflex begins when some type of stimulus triggers a pain receptor and propagates an action potential down the axon of the neuron. Dorsal root ganglia, a cluster of nerve cells in the dorsal root, carry the signal into the spinal cord. These pseudopolar somatic sensory neurons enter the spinal cord, then synapse with motor neurons, which can stimulate flexor muscles that decrease the angle between bones. These pseudosomatic sensory neurons are vital to cross-extension reflex because they can carry sensation all the way from the toes to the spine. Cross-extension reflex is a polysomatic process, meaning that the neural conduction pathways are relayed through multiple somatic connective tissues. Cross-extension reflex occurs when extensor muscles that increase the angle between bone on the contralateral side, are stimulated simultaneously with the withdrawal reflex. Contralateral means that the effectors are on the opposite side of the body that the receptor is receiving the stimulus from. Interneurons carry impulses to the opposite side and synapse with motor neurons. These motor neurons send their impulses to the extensor muscles, which are the quadriceps in this diagram. Typically, the more complex the response, the more interneurons are involved. The positive signs marked on this diagram illustrate the stimulation of muscles. Cross-extension reflex ensures that the left leg is extended to support the weight of the body when the right leg is flexed and withdrawn. This is an antagonistic process. The flex and withdrawal portion is referred to as reverberation because the branches of the axons extend back towards the source of the impulse and further stimulate the presynaptic neurons. The neurons are also considered to be inhibitory because they are responsible for locally regulating activation of excitatory neurons. Excitatory neurons project. The neurons in the left leg in this diagram are considered excitatory because they are received from the longer range. Cross-extension reflex, a positive feedback process. It is through these 6 steps that we can understand how cross-extension reflex works. In step 1, stepping on a tag stimulates pain receptors in foot. Sensory neuron activates multiple interneurons. Ipsilateral motor neurons to flexor excited. Ipsilateral flexor contracts. Contralateral motor neurons to extensor are excited. In step 6, contralateral extensor contracts.